Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and I have a finished object. Let's see if I can get this on in the right position. Now, it has not been blocked, but it is finished, and I had this much yarn left over. This much. That's all. So, anyway. So, I will tell you, for those of you that watched the daily Bible readings, you will notice there is a difference in the hair. It's trick photography. No, it's not. What happened is I had filmed earlier this morning for the daily Bible reading. And then I went and got my hair cut. And in between that time, I spilled coffee. Had to change my shirt. And, but before I changed my shirt, I got my hair cut. My hair did. And of course, it's the first few cuts, things are going to stick up. And then I put on that stupid, silly hooded thing and stuck up even more. I did finish also a lapgan. And this is some of that, my favorite, Hillspun. No, actually it's homespun. We received a whole big tote full of this and a lot of bulky yarns. And contrary to popular belief, not everybody likes working with bulky yarns. So I took it on. I used 6 skeins for this. Yeah, 6 skeins for this. I used a total of 5 skeins. Well, there were 5 and about 1/4 of a skein of this one, of this pretty brown. And then for the cream colored, there was just 1 skein, so I just used that 1 skein. And those are the finished objects for the week. Still working on the getaway shawl. But I did start another afghan with the other homespun. There's 1 skein of this. And then I believe there are 4 or 5 of black. So I am going to work that up into a lapgan too as well. I think I told you last week that we are not having our regular knit and run. And I have to tell you, I'm real disappointed about that. Because quite honestly, those items have been in storage, backed up. So any of that sweet and sour sniffles is dead in there. I don't know why nursing homes can't take it, leave it bagged up. Normally doctors and things will tell people with their kids' masks to bag them up for a week, let them sit for a week, and then they could reuse them. I'm one of those that think you need to wash them every week at least. But wash them every time, that's what my husband and I do. But, some doctors telling you one thing, some tell you something else. So who knows what the real story is. But those items can sit in the nursing home. Surely they have a spot they can sit for 2 weeks or a week and then hand them out to the residents. Yeah, a lot of the fun is everybody going in, praying with the folks, talking with them as you give them the gift, There's a lot of people that have dementia and they think it's Christmas. So, singing Christmas songs with them, those kind of things. But we're not going to get to that this year. So we decided Meals on Wheels was going to get Afghans and shawls. And yeah, I'm getting old, so if I already told you this, just bear with me. So for Meals on Wheels, we needed 120 lapgans, and we needed 320 shawls for the women. And we've got those pulled out, set aside, and bagged up, ready to go. But through that, there are a ton of shawls in our back room, our storage area. So I decided I needed to start making more Afghans, lapgans for that, just because of that. Because we don't have shawls, lapgans to go other places. Now, a lot of bulky stuff. I did start a bulky knit hat. And the good thing about the bulky, when you use it, you can probably do a hat in about an hour and a half if you're piddling around. And I believe this is a homespun. I cannot remember the color. The tag's not in there, so I'm assuming it's one of the hometowns that's no longer made in the color. But then I also am going to pair it with this pretty. This has got some pretty shades of pinks and greens and, little purple rolled in there. It is I believe it's I Love This Yarn. Yep, it is. It's a Yarn Bee, Soft Illusion. So I'm going to use that for the top part of the hat. And the good thing, like I said, about these hats is they go quick. You can sit and do these in about an hour. Generally, I cast on anywhere from 40 to 44 stitches. If I'm doing a 1x1, I'll do a 44 stitch. If not, I do a 40. And those generally fit even my head. And the 44, when I, knit, they fit up quite a bit longer. So. And I had to take that fabric back to Joann's because I got charged double for the skulls and roses. So I walked in, and the girl that had cut my fabric and was the acting manager for the day, she saw me walk in and she ran to the back. And I thought, she knows what she did. But when I got, I'm up at the cash register and the girl says, I have no idea what to do. Hang on, let me call back. So she was talking to that girl. And, I could hear her. She said, well, if you can look in the bag and see that there's only one cut, then refund her money. So she refunded my money. Only she got confused because the amount charged was $14.98. So she expected me to get back 15 something. And she goes, it's only coming up $11.90 something. And I said to her, there was 20% coupon that was applied. It's okay. So she got it done, got my money back. And then, of course, told you I was going to go over to Michael's. And that's exactly what I did. We all know that even though I'm on a yarn ban, that wasn't going to last long. Lasted what, a month? A week? 2 weeks? I mean, really, because I buy yarn for the prayer shawl. I can buy yarn, put it for the prayer shawl. But anyway, I was at Michael's, and they had all of their yarn was buy one, get 50% off. And of course, you also had the 20% coupon. So I got 2 of the color reef. And I gotta tell you, I have not felt the Craft Smart since they've changed whatever the formula is. This is soft. I'm like, ooh, that is nice. It is really nice. So I did get that. And then they had some on sale that was, let me find them. Well, this was still the buy one, get one half off. So I purchased some of the Bernat Soft Chunky. And this is in faded denim. And then I got to go with it was midnight something. Midnight. So I figured those two can go together. They really are some of the same shades in there, even though this is coming up kind of teal. But I plan on making an afghan. I got two of the dark and two of the lighter. And then, where did I go? I walked by the clearance section, and they had 4 of these chunky cakes in the color Plum Perfect. I got 4. That's how many they had. So I got 4. I'm not pulling them all out. And then also in that section they had the old Craft Smart. How do I know it's old? It's kind of rough. And this is in the Sangria. It was $1.57. So did get it. Make a couple of hats somewhere. Then I went looking through some of those pretty yarns. And I found one that I fell in love with. Now this was still the buy one get 50% off. And it was the Karen Cake Skinny Cakes, which is a, what is it? Is it a 3? Yeah, it's a 3. This is in Raspberry Ganache. I got 2 of those. I think that'll make a nice little afghan as well. And that's what I got. I did also get some material there. And what else did I get? Oh, I got some beads. You know, some of the little pumpkins, because I'm making bags, so thought I'd throw in pumpkin. And then, of course, because Christmas is coming, I've never seen these in my store, or whenever I'm in there, they're gone. So I had to get 2, and that's all they had on there to make some stitch markers to go with the bags. And that is what I got while I was at Michael's. And with all the yarn, the fabric that I also got, I managed to spend about $86. It's okay. It really is okay. Because you know what? I deserved it. I've been such a good girl, behaving. Let me get this yarn out of the way. And I thought I was doing a pretty good deal so far, because I haven't bought a whole lot of yarn for me unless I needed to finish a project, or unless it was a subscription. You know, you have to have subscriptions to some of these things. Why? I don't know. Because, you know, I'm always grumpy about Knit Crate when it comes in. Don't like the color, don't like the look of it, don't like the feel. I should really quit Knit Crate. Start buying what I like, right? So I'm looking into that. I do have another subscription that is coming in should be here tonight, and I will show that Wednesday. I will do a video Wednesday that has that as well as some shout outs. So you look forward to that Wednesday afternoon sometime. Right? Okay. Alright, that's it for that part. Other than that, I'm knitting, crocheting, sewing, cutting bags. I did get some bags cut yesterday. I was going to tell you about the neighbor next door. You know the kid that I took him and his mom to the hospital? Well, followed the ambulance to the hospital, and I took the kid to the hospital. My husband and I have decided that this kid is not very... He's been led a very sheltered life. And it was confirmed this past week. Last Wednesday, when my husband took the clothes out to the car for me to wash, take to the laundromat, the kid's car was running, and the passenger door wide open. Just left it running. Now we park on an alley, and we walk about maybe 100 feet to our door. So, and his is on the other side of us. So he has to walk about 110 feet. So his car's out there running. Door wide open. I figure, well, I know he has a starter on it, because I've gone to start to get into the car and he'll start the car. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, maybe he started the car and brought some stuff out and forgot something, ran back in. So I go do the laundry. In the meantime, I've also stopped at the store because I had to get something. And what I was looking for, I did get, but I was kind of disappointed in it. I went to get one of the crochet interweave magazines. And for some reason, I thought it had a pattern that I wanted to do in it. It did not. And a lot of the patterns look funny. They don't look like they're proportioned right for a person to wear. Some of them are Tunisian, I think. Then they have little critters on the front, so I wasn't too thrilled with that magazine. But anyway, while I was there, I couldn't get any Diet Dr. Pepper at my regular store. This is the one I'm talking about. The Forest Frolics. And this is their fall 2020. It just looks funny. The sleeves look funny to me. So, anyway. And Dr. Pepper. So by the time I get home, it's about 12:30, 12:35. The car is in the still same spot. The car is running and the door's wide open. And I'm thinking, should I go next door? I can hear him next door when I get in the house, because I'd brought home lunch for me and my husband, and I thought, no. So I come in and I tell my husband, his car is still running and that door is wide open. He goes, yeah, it was that way when I took the clothes out to the car. I'm like, well, okay. So it's been running for 3 hours. We don't think anything of it. Maybe the kid came back in and I don't know. So I decide not to do anything about it. My husband says, So as he's leaving to go back to school, he knocks on their door. No answer. So he's like, well, is there anything I can do about it? Should I turn the car off? So he decides not to, okay? So he comes back home about 5:30. he tells me, the car's still running. The door's wide open. I said, what is going on next door? So, he goes and knocks again, and there's no answer. So he's like, well, maybe I'll hear them when they come in and can go talk to them about, leaving the car running with the door wide open. I mean, that's the easy way to get your car stolen. I guess he's lucky that nobody came along down that alley, and people walk down that alley to get to school, to go to work, all kinds of things. So, we just kind of blow it off, all right? We don't think anything of it. Next day, everything's back to usual. Cars, doors are shut up and everything else. Saturday afternoon, we get home from getting our groceries. I come in. I've done some cutting. I sat down and I sat here and I fell asleep. What woke me up, my husband was upstairs taking a nap. What woke me up is I heard someone at the back door, like trying to turn the door handle. And I'm like, what's going on? That's weird. So, then I hear the screen door shut. I'm like, okay. So I get up. Now I've fallen asleep. I get up, go check the back door. I thought maybe they were still there. See what's going on. The door's locked, chains on it. I'm okay. So I'm like, well, might as well go to the little girl's room. Come back out. And as I'm coming back into the living room, I hear the front door screen close. So I don't know if they were coming to knock on the front door or the back door or what. So, I'm sit down. I'm like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. When we go out to go eat dinner, we'll check the mail. Maybe it was the mail person. Although they don't normally come to the back door. So we go out to eat, come back home, come in. We'd been in the house about 3 minutes, or the apartment about 3 minutes. There's a knock at the back door. And it's this kid. He says, can you give me a jump? And Thomas goes, do you have cables? And he said yes. And Thomas comes in, tells him he's going to go help the kid jump the car, get it started. So as he gets out there, then he comes back in and tells me this story. He says, get out there, and I decide, I'm going to see if this kid knows what he's doing. He pops his hood, the kid pops his hood, and he has a little smaller car that has a larger battery than what our car does. So Thomas tells him, you're going to do this. Because the kid starts to hand Thomas the cables. And Thomas says to him, no, you're going to do this. I'll talk you through this. Because how else are you going to learn how to jump your car? So he tells the kid what to do. The kid puts it on his battery. And then he stands back and he lets the two on the other side touch. And they, of course, spark, which is normal. And then Thomas goes, it's on his car only. If his battery is dead, it shouldn't spark. So Thomas has him come on over and teaches him how to put it on, the other car. Put it on the positive battery. Shows him how to tell it's positive or negative, that kind of thing. And then shows him you don't put it on the negative, you put it on metal in the car so you can start the car. So then Thomas gets in, the kid starts his car. And Thomas gets out, shows him how to unhook them. The car is running. Then he says to him, I want you to humor me. We're going to do this all over if this is what I think it is. After he unhooks everything, he says, I want you to turn off your car. Kid goes, okay. So he's turned his car off. He says, now I want you to turn on the lights and the radio. Kid turns on the light and the radio. They work perfectly fine. They slightly dimmed. But the whole time they're standing there talking. And all he's done is turned on the light and the radio. He hasn't turned the key. The lights and the radio are working. Then he says, I want you to turn the engine on. Of course, when he does, it makes this awful noise. And, of course, they had to jump the car to get it started again, so he did that. And then he told the kid, he said, it's not the battery that's your problem. He said, you can go down to AutoZone and they can put a tester on it and tell you what's wrong with it while you're out, you know. And he said, but I'm pretty sure it's either your solenoid or your starter from the sounds of it. The kid goes, well, how do you know that? He says, well, because your lights and radio work with the car turned off perfectly fine, so it's not your battery. And he proceeds to tell the kid, you only need the battery to start the car. After that, the only thing the battery runs is lights, radio, air conditioning, that kind of thing. So kid says, well, how do I get that fixed? And Thomas said, well, did your car come with a warranty? He said, yeah, I think it did. Thomas goes, well, then you need to call the company where you got your car and let them fix it for you. If it's under warranty, it shouldn't cost you a thing. So the kid says, well, I guess I'll call my insurance company and let them fix it. So, I don't know. Kid still hasn't got the car fixed. It's still sitting out there. Of course, he still doesn't have his window fixed. You know, the car door window fixed. In the meantime, yesterday, his mother came down. Now, his mother drives a very nice car and is very well dressed. And Thomas and I were walking in doing something. And one of the kids that normally sees him at school is walking past. And Thomas is talking to the mother because he tried to help her when they moved in. And she wouldn't have anything to do with him. She wouldn't talk to him. And one of the kids, you know, riding his bicycle, or maybe he was walking, I can't remember, comes by and says, hi, Dr. Wynn. How's it going? Fine. And then the mother turns around and says, oh, are you a medical doctor? He says, no, I have a PhD, teach over at the university. So after that, she's friendly talking with him. She has done everything for these kids. They have never wanted for a thing. They have never done anything on their own, ever. Now, he is living next door with his sister who has 2 children. They have no clue what's going on. No clue. Now, the older brother did a lot of things on his own. He was there the other day, and he was telling me, because there's always trash around the outside of their car. And he was telling me when I came out to get in the car, he said, ma'am, I am so sorry for all this trash that's around here, around my brother's car, because he's an idiot. I said, well, I wasn't going to say that. I just figure they open up the door, the stuff falls out, they don't think about it. I said, the only thing I was worried about is the day that I was out here and there was underwear outside the driver's side door. And I said, because underwear is costly. And he laughed and we laughed about it. And I said to him, it's not a problem for me. It's just if it blows under the fence, it's going to be a problem for the lady and man that just purchased the house next door. And they went to school with our landlord. So I'm sure they'll have words. And he goes, oh. I said, so, you know, they start taking care of it. It probably won't be a problem, you know. But it's just if all that trash blows up under their fence, they're not going to be happy about it either. So we go on our merry way. Of course, we have found out that the woman is a medical doctor in New York City. And they are from New York City. The kid is new to driving, since he just moved here. But mother has taken care of every want and every need. So those of you that have children still in your household, don't do that model. Teach your kids. Let them learn about the day-to-day living, how to do things, how to budget, all that kind of stuff. I just thought it was interesting. Door running, car wide open. Okay, now we are on to what in tarnation. Nothing else knitting crochet wise. Just a crazy story. Carried on too long. Owl boards helicopter fighting California wildfire. A helicopter pilot helping to fight the creek fire in California snapped a photo of an unheard of scene. An owl that boarded the chopper mid-flight. Dan Alpiner, a pilot with aircraft charter company Sky Aviation, said he was helping conduct water drops over the creek fire in Fresno and Madera counties when an owl flew in through the window and perched calmly inside the helicopter. It's odd to have an owl enter an aircraft, Sky Aviation said in a Facebook post. It's unheard of to have it enter while the helo is in flight. It was in flight when the bird flew in. It's unexplainable and magical miracle for it to stay with you for several water drops, then leave just as it arrived, safe and unannounced. Alpiner said he was initially concerned the owl would fly dangerously around the cockpit, but it rode with him calmly for several minutes before flying back out the window. And there are pictures and a video with the pilot. Which, when you find out, you'll find that it's rather interesting. They had to be flying at the same speed for it to fly in the window. Bobcat wanders aisles of Dollar General store in Kentucky. And there's video. A Kentucky sheriff's office said deputies responded to a Dollar General store to evict a wild bobcat found perusing the toiletries aisle. The Floyd County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded alongside Kentucky State Police and Martin Police Department personnel when the bobcat was reported inside the Dollar General store in Floyd County. The emergency responders were able to safely capture this bobcat and remove him from the store, the sheriff's office said. The sheriff's office shared photos of the bobcat being captured in the toiletries aisle of the store. The bobcat was released without injury, the sheriff's office said, and there's video and a picture. Now this next story, and yes, I did go and sign up for it, is rather interesting. Breathable Bacon face mask gives wearers the aroma of bacon. A U.S. company is offering fans of breakfast meats the chance to enjoy the scent of sizzling pork anytime they want with a bacon-scented face mask. Hormel said the black label breathable bacon mask uses the latest in bacon smell technology to give the wearer the experience of smelling bacon anytime they don the COVID-19 protection accessory. Bacon fans can register to win bacon-scented mask until October the 28th at breathablebacon.com. Hormel Black Label Breathable Bacon is bacon-scented for an irresistibly breathable, heavenly aroma that you can keep all to yourself, the website states. Hormel said the company will donate one meal to Feeding America for every contest entry up to $10,000. That's why I went. But still, it'd be great to win a mask that smells like bacon. Sorry about the sinuses. This next one comes to us from Australia. And there's video. Escaped cow found trapped on a neighbor's trampoline. One of about 40 cows that escaped from a farm in Victoria, Australia, was found less than a mile away after wandering onto a resident's trampoline and becoming stuck. Kay Lang, South Gippsland, said she spotted the cow on the trampoline outside her home Wednesday night and discovered the bovine was unable to stand up on the bouncy surface. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but that's funny. Lang said a neighbor used a tractor to carefully lift the animal off the trampoline and contacted the cow's owner. I don't know how long it took to get them off, but we were back in bed by 3:30 a.m., Lang told 3AW radio. The animal's owner said about 40 cows had escaped earlier in the evening, and the majority had been rounded up before the trampoline discovery. There's video of the newscast. It's rather humorous. Ice-making machine burst into flames at New York ice rink. An ice-making machine burst into flames on an ice rink in New York while the driver rode it. The incident occurred Wednesday during a youth hockey practice, according to sources, while a driver was using the machine to clean an ice rink at Bill Gray's Regional Iceplex in Rochester. Rochester Fire Department Lieutenant Ryan Fleming said no one was hurt, including the driver who continued driving the machine off the rink to a maintenance area while it was on fire, and a couple of youth hockey players who were on the rink at the time. The incident, which has over 500,000 views on social media, which I'm sure by now more than that, was sparked by leaking hydraulic fluid that came in contact with the hot components of the vehicle's underside, according to multiple reports. Fleming said the driver put out the fire after he got to the maintenance area. It's a short video, I think about 6-7 seconds, on Twitter. Now I know everyone has seen this video. You had to have seen this. It was all over Facebook. But there's a lot more to the story. Aggressive cougar follows man on Utah trail for 6 minutes. A man out for a run on a Utah trail captured video of his frightening 6-minute encounter with a scary kitty cat. A mother cougar, Kyle Burgess, said he was out for a 10-mile run at Slate Canyon in Provo, Utah, when he spotted 4 cougar cubs on the trail ahead of him. Burgess said he was filming the cubs when their mother showed up and followed him for 6 minutes. And it is frightening, the video. The video shows Burgess calling the mother a scary kitty cat and shouting profanely at the animal to leave him alone. There's a lot of curse words. "Come on, dude, I don't feel like dying today," Burgess says after the cougar repeatedly lunges at him. Burgess said he was scared and filled with adrenaline during the encounter. It was a very long 6 minutes, he told KSL TV. The cougar finally turned back and went back to her cubs after Burgess threw a rock in her direction. And I gotta tell you honestly, the entire time I'm watching it, I'm yelling at him, "Pick up a rock! Throw it at her! She'll leave! She'll go back to her cubs." "Honestly, right now it still feels like a dream," Burgess told the Deseret News. Scott Root, the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources Conservation Outreach Manager for Central Utah, said Burgess did awesome during the encounter. Root said wildlife officers searched the area the day after the encounter but did not find the mother or her cubs. So hopefully she's moved on, Root said. The first link down below is to that actual video on YouTube. And they have bleeped out, there's a lot of bleeps because he's saying the F word. And I don't blame him. I probably would have been too. But the second one is an interview with Kyle the man in the video. It's an interview with one of his friends where they view the video and they talk about it and they talk about it afterwards. That I found absolutely interesting because there was a lot more to the story about that run. So it was rather interesting to see the interview, and I just happened to find a link to this, to the interview. So I hope you'll watch both of those. And that's it, folks. That's all there is for What in Tarnation. So everybody have a great week, and I'm sorry I yammered on so long, because I don't like to keep them this long. But everybody have a great week. Be kind to one another, and I'll see you again Wednesday afternoon.